Hey everyone, before I get deeper into this video on how Broadcom can be an excellent way to ride the AI wave, let me point out that it's not a secret, right? The market has recognized Broadcom's access to artificial intelligence and how it is benefiting from the wave. Look at Broadcom's stock price here. Look at the forward price to earnings ratio. If you look at this, look at how the valuation has gone from a forward PE of 12 around January of 2023 before the hype really got exciting. Now it's up to a forward PE of 19.12. Now, I recommended Broadcom stock for 2023, and my viewers have been able to benefit from this ride higher. However, I did tell my viewers it's not a bad thing to take some profits here. It's not a bad thing to trim off the top. But also, I don't think it's too late. I don't think it's too late to get in on Broadcom to ride this AI wave. So let's look at the details now. Now that I've kind of gave the slight warning here in that you wouldn't be the first one to jump in on Broadcom and its ride from the AI wave, right? So right now AI revenues are like 15% of its revenue, of Broadcom's revenue, and the company thinks it can get to 25% by the end of 2024. So this segment is growing quickly to become a bigger share of the company's business overall. But the CEO says these are just the early innings. We're just getting started. Relatively speaking, budgets don't change that rapidly. Speaking about enterprises, institutions, and businesses, like, yes, they're increasing their spending on artificial intelligence, but the budgets don't shift that quickly. They're just shifting maybe incrementally to artificial intelligence. They haven't just said, all right, we're going all in. We're shifting our entire budget there, and we're just really going to say, this is it. We're going for it. No, that's not the case. It's just the very early stages, and so Broadcom could continue benefiting from this trend. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes from 25% of its revenue in 2024 to 30% in 2025 to maybe 40% in 2026. Now, that's just speculation, but the rate at which artificial intelligence spending is growing industry wide could fuel that kind of growth for Broadcom. So if you look at the numbers, all that growth is perhaps all its growth, the company says, is perhaps coming from the rise of artificial intelligence. But the CEO saying maybe it's and then he's moderating those that outlook and saying maybe it's half to all. So maybe half of its growth is due to this rise of generative AI, and maybe it's all of its growth is going to be from there. So essentially what the CEO is saying here is that between 50% and 100% of Broadcom's overall revenue growth is going to come from the rise of this generative AI trend. So moving on, the CEO saying a big part of our growth now in AI comes from the networking components that we're supplying into the Ethernet fabric for AI clusters. The rate of growth there is probably faster than offload computing. In other words, the CEO saying the growth in the networking side of AI is the faster part of the growth of artificial intelligence industry wide, right? So there's several parts that go into the growth of the overall artificial intelligence industry, but Broadcom is positioned to benefit from the faster growing part of the business. So, like I mentioned earlier, it's just the very beginning stages of this rapid development of artificial intelligence, and Broadcom is in an excellent position to thrive from that growth. Now, some of those excellent prospects are already priced into Broadcom stock. It's trading at its highest forward PE going back year and a half, almost 2 years. It's trading at its highest forward PE. So it's some of it is already priced in to its valuation. So investors need to be careful here because the stock is not relatively cheap. Looking at its history, it's the most expensive that it's been. So I would say add Broadcom stock definitely to your watch list. And if there are opportune times to jump in and add some allocation, do so opportunistically. But keep in mind the stock is not cheap on a relative basis. But an incredible company, incredible profit margins, which I've talked about in other videos, and sitting right in an excellent position to benefit from one of the biggest trends in several years. All right, but that's all I've got for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/Parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.